So from Germany to Mexico, and to hear about CHP in combination with biogas. Carlos Prieto is Sales Director for Latin America for 2G Energy International. And it's Carlo who's joining us next. Carlos, thanks very much for joining us today. And over to you.
Thank you very much, Kelvin. And good morning, good evening to everybody. And very glad to be here. Thanks to the COGEN World Coalition for this invite to my company and this opportunity that I have to show you what we can do. And by the way, today is the Mother's Day in Mexico, so happy Mother's Day to all the persons listening from Mexico and being here. So let me share my screen. I think it's this one. I hope all of you can see my screen now.
We can. Carlos, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm Carlos Prieto, the Sales Director for Latin America 2G Energy International. 2G Energy International is a business unit for 2G Energy, our factory located in Germany. So let's start with my presentation. I will try to fit in the 15 minutes that I have for this presentation today. So this is going to be my agenda. I will do an introduction about what 2G is. Then I will jump into the products and portfolio in our factory. And also I will talk something related to digitalizations and services that we can provide to our customers. And then I will jump into the Biogas to Energy project in Mexico, which is one of the recent projects that we have developed here together with one of our partners, CHP Solutions, which is a Mexican company. And finally, I will show you the benefits and achievements that we have got with this project. At the end, I think it will be a Q&A session for all of you. So talking about a little bit about 2G. 2G is a German company established since 1995 in a city that is called a city of Hick, which is located northwest of Germany, very close to the border with the Netherlands. And 2G is listed in the German stock market since 2007. And we call ourselves, we define ourselves as a solutions provider with a strong focus on research and development for getting the higher electrical efficiency or total efficiency at site with the lower total cost of ownership for the final user. We are able to provide solutions that can burn biogas, natural gas. More recently, we already have hydrogen as a fuel, 100% hydrogen, 40% hydrogen mixed with natural gas also. And we at this moment have 6 engines running in the marketplace running on hydrogen. Also, we can burn syngas, propane, and well, a variety of different fuels, gaseous fuels always. And our power range of products goes from 20 kilowatts in 50 hertz up to 3,500 kilowatts as a supplying only one cogeneration system. So we can stack, we can install different modules. So then we can provide up to 20 megawatts without any problem outside. So we are supported by around 700 employees, and we have shipped more than 7,000 CHP solutions to more than 50 countries in the world. Talking about our product and portfolio, this is how it looks, a product this, This one that you can see here in the middle, but we can supply the entire scope of the total cogeneration system by using different kind of engines. We are manufacturing our own engines on our own brand 2G, and also we can use Jenbacher's or MWM or Rolls-Royce MTU engines for our solutions. So in the case of biogas specifically, we are able to supply biogas conditioning skids just to have the biogas coming from, for example, from the anaerobic digesters in the right composition just for the engine to do the combustion as planned. So we can, or we will provide 4 single points of connections with our solutions. Basically, the inlet, which is the fuel, and then we will have an interconnection point for the electricity or the power to the grid or to the customer load, and the cogeneration that can be hot water, or in this case for biogas, hot water, just to have to keep the temperature internally at the digester constant. Sorry. We also can provide steam, or we can do chilled water too. So all of these solution is supported or is connected to our own control panel. That is the 2G plant control is the name that we have for this, and it provides the interconnection through the internet, and by this our customers, our engineers from factory, our service team can do a remote monitoring of the condition of the engine working, and the entire solution too. So this is more or less our portfolio. You can see at the bottom all of our own products. Those are 2G engines, all of them, and those are going from 20 kilowatts in 50 hertz, 60 kilowatts in 60 hertz, up to 1 megawatt in 50 or 60 hertz. So further than that, we can provide, as I explained you before, Jenbacher engines or MWM engines or MTU engines, and we can do bigger systems. Again, hydrogen is a reality for 2G. We are running engines on 100% hydrogen, mostly in Europe, but this is a reality. Also, it was mentioned by David that we are ready to do a retrofit of our systems whenever the hydrogen be in place available. That means that we can provide a system that nowadays can work with biogas or natural gas, and in the future we can do a retrofit, which is very easy, very straightforward, and convert the engine into a dual fuel engine or 100% hydrogen engine. In terms of digitalization, I explained you before that we have basically 2 big chunks here, just to show you or just to provide to our customers from service standpoint. All engines are connected to the my2g.com, which is an intranet that all the owners of a 2G CHP solution can go in, can get in and get all the information from service standpoint, all documents for the specific project. They can see even they can monitor the condition of the engine working. And we have implemented since 2 years ago the IRIS, which is basically a predictive maintenance system that is capable of receiving all the information for all the plants that we have running all over the world, and the system itself will inform to every single customer when to do a predictive maintenance, just to avoid a failure or an unexpected stop of the engine. Okay, so let's talk about specifically the project that we developed in Mexico. And I just want to explain you who is our customer. The customer is a dairy farmer that is called Rancho La Bien Aparecida. It is located in the Querétaro state, very close to Mexico City. And they are producing basically milk to one of the largest dairy producers in Mexico that is called Alpura, and or Alpura, I'm sorry. And what they had was the let's say the problem with the cattle manure, that they didn't have you know, how they didn't have the way on how to dispose properly that manure. So one of the best way to do it is just to produce the methane, let's say, in a controlled manner from that manure by implementing an anaerobic digester like this one that you can see at this picture. They did it, and they signed the contract with the technology supplier for this digester, and then they opened a private bid in which they invited several CHP providers, and they have some specific requirements, like, for example, the system should work in a net metering application together or tied to the grid, connected to the grid. And also they requested for the best electrical efficiency or total efficiency from the system, and for sure the lower capex and opex. So for this, our local partner in Mexico, CHP Solutions, offer the entire turnkey solution for the customer, and also the long-term service agreement with a lower cost for the customer. What were the challenges that probably many of you know? In Mexico, we are having several cities at a higher elevation, in which the oxygen content in the air and also the pressure is lower than that at the sea level. So it means that the engines are derating at that altitude. So this is one of the first challenges that we have from ambient conditions standpoint, and also the huge swing that there is in place for temperature, for ambient temperature. We're having swings between almost 25 degrees. We can start, for example, in the morning in January at 1 degree Celsius in the morning, but at noon or 2 or 3 in the afternoon, the temperature goes all the way up to 24 or 25 degrees Celsius. That means that the engine needs to be capable of maintaining the power output even with this swinging temperature and also the higher altitude. Additionally, the local regulations call for a project for less than 500 kilowatts, just to have some, not incentive, but some, let's say, fast track permits approval for the project standpoint. So by this, the project or the entire solution should be limited to less than 500 kilowatts at site. On top of that, the emissions requirements were for 500 milligrams per normal cubic meters in NOxes as a maximum, and we met those values without any problem. So from engineering standpoint, we need to provide the entire turnkey solution, fully integrated with the gas treatment and also the electrical portion of the project. So we supported our local partner again, and we were able to make it. So the project conceptualization from 2G standpoint, it was based on an indoor capsule that runs at 50 dBAs at 10 meters as a sound attenuation system, and it works with a 2G Agenitor 412 engine. And also we provide part of the gas conditioning skid that I will show you later on. But here what we provide to the customer in terms of the energy balance was to have a 65% solution, cogeneration solution for them. With some, in reality, we can make it bigger than that or higher than that, but it was limited to this because of the needs of temperature, or let's say heat, that was needed at the digester itself. But the important thing was that we only interconnect the biogas to the piping that we provided, and then the customer got the interconnection completely to the grid, and also the interconnection of the hot water going into the digester. Finally, the interconnection with the internet for remote monitoring. So going specifically for every single step that we did in terms of a scope of supply, we set up the 2G AVOS 500 Plus running with biogas in these indoor capsule, as I showed you before, with the 50 dBA sound attenuation that I show you. We supply the forced with variable frequency ventilation system for the entire solution, meaning that this system will give the air needed internally at the indoor capsule, just to have the right temperature internally, and also the air for the combustion. Finally, we also supply the integrated thermal skid. That means the thermal skid that will supply the water for the digester, and also the hot water that we will supply the reheating system for the biogas conditioning skid that I will show you later. On top of that, we supply the balance of plant, meaning the table cooler, silencer, fuel train, and all the connections, flange connections, let's say fast connections for the customer outside. In this case, or I said the customer, but it was for our partner in Mexico. From digitalization standpoint, we supplied our own control panel, as I told you before, with a 10 inches touch screen display like this one that you can see here at this picture, and it provides the entire synchronization to the grid, the net metering and export control for the system itself. All the auxiliaries control is contained in this panel, and this is an integration, and it has the integration of the thermal skid and the biogas conditioning skid, as I told you before. So this is a PLC-based system with a 2G software contained on it, just to run the entire solution properly. It needs additionally, it needs only a low speed modem just to be connected to the suite of services or digitalization services that I told you before. In terms of the electrical supply, we supply the load cabinet totally made by 2G in Germany for 480 volts, supplying the motorized circuit breaker that at the end of the day will be the interconnection point to the grid. It came in an indoor cabinet, and it has also the protection relay that will cover the engine, or will protect the engine and generator too. Regarding the biogas conditioning skid, we supply 3 stages in this case, even though we can supply 4 stages conditioning skid, but in this case, the customer decided to supply by themselves the carbon activated filters, but we were able to supply the humidifier system via chiller that you can see here in the picture, and also the biogas reheating system that is basically this heat exchanger that is here in the picture, and is fed by the low temperature circuit coming out of the engine. And the most important thing here is that all this system is controlled by our 2G plant control panel. So we also supply the biogas blower just to keep the pressure and flow of biogas as the engine needs. Finally, our customer finally get all those benefits from this engine. He is producing 495 electric kilowatts with a byproduct of their core activity by using the biogas produced in this anaerobic digester. And for the environment, we are able to say that we are destroying 17,000 tons of CO2 per year, equivalent to the CH4, I mean, to the methane that is born at the engine level. And at the same time, because the engine, I mean, the customer is not buying the electricity from the grid for the power and also for the thermal need that they have for the anaerobic digester, we are able to say that we are saving more than 20,000 tons of CO2 per year, and also with a lower cost, giving the customer from 45 to 50% savings in total. Those are pictures how the plants looks. So it is an agribusiness, and you can see the arrangement that it has. So thank you very much. That concludes my presentation. And again, happy Mother's Day to all Mexicans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlos. And yes, absolutely. A very happy Mother's Day to all who celebrate it today.